весенние груши, поплыли туманы над рекой. Выходила на берег Катюша, на высокий берег, на крутой.
Hello everyone, this is Mr. Katusha, and today I have another video. It's going to be the same one that I just posted, same battle, but I have learned some new things, and it was blurry, so I'm going to redo this. So, anyway, get out of cinematic mode. My friend who is playing as Egypt in this battle, Burning Sparrow, has told me some things about the units he had, as well as the Sobek cultists, which is really interesting. We'll get into that later when we're in the action, but to start off, getting into regular motion here, we have the Spartans and the Egyptians on this side, and the Romans surrounding this area, as well as with Romans and Spartans inside. So the catapults taking some fire here. So I do like this battle a lot, which is why I'm doing it again. It's pretty interesting and pretty cool. Over here I'm moving some Spartan hoplites over to support my Roman ally. Not moving them in quite yet. Looks like some Spartans are about to get on these walls here. See quite soon. Some onager shots coming in. Besides that, we're gonna go more in depth than the video posted for army compilations, or army compositions, not compilations. Over here we have the Egyptians, as I said, with spears and melee infantry in front. Their general, the Royal Thorax Spearmen or Swordsmen. 2 units of pikemen in the back, and mercenary Cretan archers. There's going to be a lot of those in the battle today. Citizen cavalry to support on the flanks there. A Greek heavy onager firing some shots in. Getting some friendly fire there against the Spartan hoplites, or a lot. And Sobek cultists in the siege towers here. Now this is the unit he told me a lot about, because I was pretty confused with what they did and what they were, their stats and all that. But they are, I believe, lighter than some of the more elite units, but they scare the infantry, and they have less troops, which is why they're cheaper. But a very good unit once they get into combat, definitely affecting the morale of the troops. Over here the Spartans have Royal Spartans, which is a very good Spartan infantry, 3 units of those, and actually 5 units more in the back. Now it seems like the Spartans don't have a huge army. I mean, it's pretty good size, but most of their units are pretty elite, which makes it seem like they don't have a ton of units. Now their pikemen might have helped later in the battle, but it seems like they're getting really badly chewed up here by these scorpion towers up there. Taking out a lot of troops, 22 left and 9 here about to break. So definitely not a good start for the Spartans. The Egyptians pushing in here, still having a very healthy army ready to go. Some Galatian Royal Guard, definitely a hard unit to crack. On the other side, the Romans are very passive in the beginning. Armored legionaries, pretty good units. Now the Roman Empire overall has a pretty good troops to pick from, as it's called Rome 2. So very good army. Praetorian Guard, very heavy. Looks like some catapult shots are coming in here into the wall. Just going over some of the troops and over the wall here, but the wall has taken about half damage. 46 over here, so the wall is gonna get broken down pretty soon. So not much going on. I'll fast forward it a little bit here. That's a bit glitchy. Maybe forward it. Over here the Spartans are moving in with their hoplites, moving in. Looks like I'm going to be moving some of my troops over to support here. Royal Spartans. 3 units of those, and 4 units in the front of Spartan hoplites. As well as pikemen over here, 2 units of Rhodian slingers, and 3 units of spears. Not sure how to pronounce that, but Over here, the Romans. Again, this is kind of like a civil war between the Romans and Spartans. Looks like Egyptians are pushing some troops in here, but they're taking heavy casualties from the Scorpion Towers. Poor man on the side there, getting taken out. Maybe he'll get back up. Doesn't seem like it. Pushing in here. Only about 60 troops left in this one, 90 in that one. We should be able to hold them off, the armored legionaries here. Forming up to take on the Egyptians, though they should be beaten back. The Spartans are now running through the streets without much support, except for a few Egyptian units here. Their pikemen are wavering, which is definitely not good. Pikemen are a very strong unit, and losing them this early in the game is not going to be good. We are outnumbered as our 4 armies against 3, but right now we're having a pretty good start against the Spartans. Egyptians getting on the walls here, taking again some casualties from the Scorpion Towers. Sobek Cultus with the really cool looking unit. Now the camera controls I'm not super used to, so sorry if I'm a little rigid. Same with Medieval 2, just got those 2 games for pretty recently. Looks like they're running in here, taking up position. Looks like they're probably going to come through the ladder and down into the streets now. So yeah, pretty cool, but definitely pretty scary. The Egyptians and Spartans taking me on this flank over here. I do have support from my ally, though most of my troops are stationed over here. I'm pretty much spread around the battlefield though. My general up here, my favorite Spartan unit, the Heroes of Sparta. With the pretty cool looking helmets and capes. Rhodian Cretan archers, or mercenary Cretan archers. That'd be cool if they're from both Rhodia or Rhodes, I'm not sure how to say it, and Crete. Over here, Spartan pikemen, again holding their position. So these Romans don't push in for a while. Looks like these Romans over here are now pushing in. Veteran legionaries mainly on these towers. Some more armored legionaries in the back. The onager has run out of ammo, which is good, so using up their ammo here will definitely be helpful. Looks like that onager over there is not, though. Killing quite a few of my men over here. Already 10 are gone without even engaging in melee. Galatian Royal Guard pushing up the road here. And some Spartan hoplites. And again, just it's very crucial to the battle, but it definitely didn't help them out. If they had healthy units, then we might have been able to have a lot more difficulty in this battle. But their unit being so, their army being so depleted, definitely evened out the game. Cinematic mode here. Always mess that up. Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna try that anymore. At least that's not working. Again, a bit of a noob with the controls, but I've played Attila before, so strategy-wise, I'm pretty much used to this. Again, our Scorpion Tower is doing a lot of damage to their troops, range-wise. Romans pushing into the walls here. Veteran legionaries should be able to get pushed back by my hoplites, but there's more and more flooding in through the walls, so their numbers might actually push us back. A very smart position up here by my ally playing this Roman Eagle cohort, throwing in their javelins into the troops below. Eagle cohort pushing to guard the gate here. On the walls, we're having a very cool looking battle, but they're going to be overpowered very quickly. So usually when I play sieges, same with Attila, I don't usually guard the walls, the outer walls, because I don't know, I think it's a waste of resources. Other people usually do things differently, but that's and a lot of people do that as well, but I don't know. It's just how we're doing in this battle. And I mean, camping all of your troops in the center isn't always fun either, but as long as you put some troops on the outside. Looks like he's pushing up his pikemen, but they should be finished off pretty quick. Arrow fire coming in, that's going to be a big problem from those Cretan mercenaries. Looks like I'm going to, pretty soon my ally is going to push up some helot archers up into the top at the wall to fire down and destroy this unit here, hopefully. Now more Egyptians coming up here. Definitely got to watch out for that. Now, over here on this flank, I've lost a lot of troops just from that heavy onager, which is not good. But these troops over here are pretty healthy, so we should be able to hold off these Spartans. Now I'm sallying out just a little bit, taking on some of these Egyptians. I'm almost getting some friendly fire there, but landing a pretty good hit in my troops. Now that's 2 units against 1, kind of half of the other. Looks like my ally's now pushing in more hoplites, 2 units there. And he has pikes still in reserve, fully healthy, so that should come to our aid if we need it. So we should be able to push them back a little bit here, hopefully. That onager is definitely going to be a problem until they run out of ammo though. So we got to be very careful of that. Pushing them back a little bit now, as I believe my hoplites are a lot heavier and therefore have more armor than his royal guard. So I bet Colt is charging in here, but they've already taken 40 casualties, so a third or 2/3 of their unit is gone. But we'll definitely weaken the morale of my troops if they can't do any physical damage. Spartan hoplites moving up now, but not very big units here. Now, here's the big thing that we're talking about when we're playing the game. These helot archers have a much more favorable position than these mercenary Cretan archers, because when you're firing at a wall, kind of from any position, unless it's going straight up and coming down, most of your shots are just gonna bounce off the wall here, and it's not very useful, and you're going to waste a lot of ammo just hitting the wall, which is the problem with the Cretan archers here against the helot archers. Even though the Cretan archers are somewhat of a better unit than the helot archers, they're definitely getting beaten by them. More Cretan archers moving up. So, again, more shots just bouncing off, not really doing a lot of damage. Now they are getting some hits, it seems like, but nothing major, not a lot of damage to do. Anything. Over here, it looks like we're pushing them back. Egyptians moving in troops, but we should be able to push them back down the hill. Now, while they are moving in a lot more troops, they're kind of holding this town square over here. So, it's good that they didn't push in the brunt of their force, or we could have lost that flank. Over here we're losing to the Romans, a lot of the Praetorian Guard, and pretty much their whole army charged in here. It seems like I lost my other unit of Spartan hoplites and only have 1 left that's very badly damaged. Now I might be able to beat this unit of army legionaries, but I'll definitely be beaten by this horde of Romans over here. Looks like my ally is retreating his eagle cohort, doing a pretty good job of holding them back, even though his units is heavily outnumbered. Over here, the Spartans and Romans holding together, holding this very vital choke point into the main city. Because if we can't hold this small choke point here, they could definitely sandwich us in, which is not good. Now the Romans here, I'm not too sure what their strategy was. and I'm not saying that it's bad. It just didn't really work well. They're moving in a couple of units at a time, and they just pushed in all of their elites at once, and their lighter units are in the back and haven't really attacked yet, and there's no missile support, so his attack isn't going very well. But the Praetorian Guard should be able to do some damage, but we can just push in more troops and defeat their elites, which will definitely help. Praetorian Guard up here seeming like they're being beaten back by the Armored Legionaries, of course being helped though by the Scorpion Tower. Some first cohort moving in. They're heavy, but they're not super heavy. Well, I guess that makes kind of sense. Somewhat of sense. Like, these are very heavy, and they're heavy, but they're not as heavy as these troops. So our arrows should do a lot of good damage to them. Over here, archer support, again, which is what the Romans are lacking in this battle. So not super, it's not going too well over there. Over here, these Romans are doing a pretty good job of attacking. They have archer support. They're taking towers, so that way these Scorpion Towers won't chew up a lot of their troops. And they've got a lot of their troops still together and pretty healthy. The Spartans in the beginning losing a lot of troops and morale from the friendly fire, which is not necessarily their fault, but the attack also wasn't all together. Spartans a little too thirsty for blood. Here I've pushed down the hill and I'm starting to beat the Spartans back, but it does seem like there's a lot of heavy reinforcements from the Egyptians. And one of my favorite Egyptian units are the Sobek cultists, as I've mentioned. Pushing up here with some support from Thero spears and some Spartans, it seems like. A lot of fire arrows coming in, but not doing a whole lot of damage against my super heavy troops. Spartans are probably one of my favorite factions, having a pretty good unit roster, except for kind of lacking missiles, but in this game, if your missiles get a good position, then you can do a lot of damage, so no matter if they're heavy or not. But of course, it's always good to have a pretty heavy unit of archers, though it's not necessarily needed. Taking casualties again, it seems like a lot of the archers have been killed off here. Though the Egyptians do have a pretty healthy army, but still attacking in just waves. Over here, 2 units of Royal Spartans pushing up to assist their Roman ally. Now, one thing that helps us for this push is this Scorpion Tower, and again, in this battle, all of the archer support and towers have really helped us. It seems like the Romans have made a small breakthrough, but we are holding them back. First cohort, seems like the Praetorian Legion has been beaten back. Pushing in the rest of their army, or at least most of it, now into the gates. I'm gonna push up my Periokoi spears, probably butchering that, but pushing them up now. Getting ready for a charge. My Rhodian slingers, I'm gonna put them on the walls, which will later help a lot, because on this flank right now it seems like we're pretty badly outnumbered and outskilled by the Praetorian Guards and Eagle cohort. My bow's now in a perfect position, almost in range of the Romans. So we are holding out pretty well for being outnumbered by an extra army, but then again, a lot of things have gone our way. These Thero spears pushing through a large portion of the Egyptian army. So my hoplites holding on here, charging weirdly sideways. Still more Spartan support up here, so even if they broke through these couple of units, there would be a lot of Spartans to come down and deal with the rest of the troops. Though it is definitely pretty even on other fronts, so we gotta watch out for that. Over here we've entirely lost the wall, so we'll have to defend this area. Now, I had to say attacking can be pretty difficult, and they did a pretty good job in this battle, especially the Romans on this side, of breaking through. And I would have to say that the Spartans started out just with a bad luck, just didn't really have any way to break through with how many troops they'd lost. Now, maybe tomorrow or some other day, by the time you're watching this video, I will probably have another video out. I think it is me attacking. I'm not too sure. I might post something different. I also have Napoleon videos, but I did get a new computer, so I have to re-download things, and I don't have some of my old replays, or all of them. I don't have any of my old replays, so I'm just trying to get new content. Looks like over here we are firing some of my rocks up there, but it's not doing a lot of damage because, again, the wall here is just, they're just bouncing off. My archers up top, though, doing a lot of damage, or a little bit of damage at least. They went from about 60 to 45, which is pretty good. Over here we have their ranged troops are still really healthy and have probably a lot of ammo, which is definitely not good. I'm starting to lose a lot of my slingers now, and I was not microwing, so unfortunately it's not going to go too well. They're going to lose a lot of troops without doing any damage because they're not in range. Or they might be in range, I'm not sure. Okay, they're in range, but still not doing a ton of damage. Now my archers should be in range pretty soon, but right now it doesn't seem like it. Over here I have one unit of Spartan Hoplites left out of the original 4, or 2 it seems like. We should be able to hold off against some cav, but once they send in heavier infantry there's not much we can do. These Royal Spartans are outnumbered by my unit, but I don't know what my troops are doing. Over here the Spartan Hoplites of my allies taking quite a lot of damage from those arrows, which is definitely not good. Citizen cav rushing in here. So this unit is definitely running out of troops and morale. The Romans still holding back here, completely wiping out my unit of slingers. There's only 7 of them left. Over here my 2 units of spears, or my 3 units of spears, have pushed everyone back, the Romans. They've fallen back now. Should be able to get rid of them, but it seems like they're not coming back for a while. So the Egyptians still have a pretty healthy army, but I don't think it's enough to push through here into the center, to the keep as I call it. Over here the Romans seem like they're not really pushing up yet, not kind of staying back, seeing how the battle's going. Forward it here. So, right now it's just missile attacks, and the Egyptians and Spartans trying to kill the rest of my army off. Put it back in play. So over here my archers are firing from high up above. Arrows raining down on these Syrian archers and Balearic slingers. Not singers, that would be kind of weird. I was in a Rome 2 match and we were joking around about how it would be funny if there was like singers as generals. That would be a pretty fun mod. But anyway, back to the battle, not with my crazy thoughts. Over here Spartan Hoplites, again being surrounded by the citizen cav and being cut off from the rest of the army. Now these units of Spartan Hoplites, a shield wall, or phalanx, does do somewhat to help against arrow fire, but not really that much. It's more, like as well as the shield wall, more meant to stop melee attacks and kind of help against that. but definitely taking a lot of damage from all the archer fire. Up here, my Rhodian slingers throwing rocks everywhere, killing all these poor soldiers down here. And it seems like the Romans are starting to push up more of their infantry now. Some armored legionaries and vigiles running up now. It's a pretty light unit of spear infantry. So the Romans marching in now. Spartans moving up into position. And my 2 units of... or I'm moving up my spears now. But I do believe I eventually move up my pikemen, or my pikes, to hold them off. Now my Spartan hoplites are still here because fighting against cavalry with a spear unit is definitely not too hard to do. But they are running out of troops, so you have to be careful here. Now the Egyptians only seem to have about 6 units or 6 or 5 units of like infantry left, and the other 2 units or the couple other units are just cav and missile infantry. The Roman army is pretty much totally annihilated now. They only have Cretan archers and their royal Spartans as their general, and it seems like their onager did run out of ammo, which is definitely pretty good for us. The Romans as well over here are starting to become slowed down. They don't have a lot of troops left. So it's looking really good for us at this point. The balance of power is still about halfway, but it's definitely a little bit tipped to our side. Over here my spears. Now they cannot form a formation, so I'm going to be kind of careful how I use them. Not too defensively, I'm going to use them pretty aggressively. We're throwing our spears in. I'm gonna go for a charge now. So this is pretty much a downhill fight. We're fighting down this slope here. So we should have a little bit of an advantage. Breaking this first couple of units, but that's only the beginning. The Praetorian Guard is moving in now. Dealing with them is not going to be an easy task, or a simple one. Over here, Syrian archers firing off more shots, still having quite a lot of ammo. But shooting, I'm not sure why, against the Testudo, which does not do a lot of damage. If really nothing at all, nothing very big. And again, this Scorpion Tower, like I said earlier, is going to do a lot of damage to these troops. My spear is kind of out of place. I'm not sure what they're doing. But whatever. Egyptians falling back now, taking quite a lot of casualties from these slingers and archers. God, these rocks, man. Where are they throwing them? Now we're hitting this unit in the back, so doing quite a lot of damage against their general. This poor guy over here is on fire, or was on fire until he died. So they still have a lot of troops, but nothing major, nothing at all to take these walls, especially with the pikemen here. And pikes are very, very powerful unit in this game. They can fight off calves, they can fight off anything except for missile attacks, because they don't have really a lot of shields. Sometimes when I look at the pikes, they look kind of weird. I don't know what it is with these guys, but like that man back there, and that other man there, kind of weird looking, but whatever. This is war. Doesn't necessarily matter what you look like. I mean, I wouldn't fight them, but whatever. Over here, some spears again, pushing in. Some hoplites. Same as these guys, just instead of a cohort, or instead of spears, they're hoplites. Cohort's more Roman, not necessarily Greek. Over here, Royal Spartans pushing in. Now this Scorpion Tower is firing at our troops, but it doesn't have nearly as good as a shot as this Scorpion Tower does. Some cav coming in. The general, it seems like, of the Romans. Killing that general could definitely weaken their morale. And I believe at this point the other Roman general is charging in now as well. So it'll be a general fight, kind of, with a lot of other troops there. But it seems like the general's going to fall back here. So, away from that front, over here, looking at everything, it looks pretty calm, not much going on. Over here, the Romans still walking around. My pikemen are moving up now to assist my ally. Now I'm losing my spears, as they're only medium spear infantry. Praetorian Guard pushing up through this way now with the Royal Spartans' help. Egyptians moving up their cavalry. So this is pretty much the main battle. If we win here, then we could probably just win the battle, which is already looking pretty good for us. Archer fire coming down. Or those might be slingers. I think they are slingers. Yeah, my Rhodian slingers, because I changed them out since my Cretan archers ran out of ammo. Doing a lot of damage, all these rocks flying in here. Okay, now it seems like my pikemen are holding this position, ready to go in, looking really cool. About to push in here, tightening the gap.
As you command.
All we have left is a thin defense of the Eagle cohort holding off. The flags are sometimes a little annoying. It's kind of hard to see. The general is now thrown into the mix. It looks like the... actually, that's not the general. It's just the citizen cavalry of Egypt about to break. My spears are about to break as well. It seems like most of them have already left. My pike's holding strong here. All these poor bodies here. Those arrows definitely doing a lot of damage. I'm gonna check the other side of the battlefield. It looks like the Spartans are now coming down. Romans coming around to help out. Thorax pikemen. So they still have 2 healthy units of pikemen, which is definitely not good. Some cultists, a good unit of cultists still here. Just lost about half of their unit. Or a little bit less than that. The Cretan archers, I believe, have run out of ammo, so they're charging forward. The hoplites moving in here should be able to finish them off pretty quickly. Check the other side. Again, a lot of back and forth here. The Praetorian Guard's numbers are definitely weakening. My pikes should finish them off. The tower doing quite a lot of damage to our troops though. Seems like arrows and rocks are coming down now. Or just arrows, I guess I switched them out again. So it's going pretty well over here. They're starting to break steady. So right before breaking, now they're shaken. So these 2 units of Praetorian Guard, once they're gone, we should be able to win on the side. Well, there's nothing else here, so we will win the side once we defeat them. which we're pretty close to doing.
Understood.
So that side is pretty much done. Now the Romans are going to come over and help the Egyptians and what's left of the Spartans, which is just their general. And they're probably going to go for another attack. Over here, my pikemen coming over to capture this tower here, and my 2 units of archers to take the gate back. The towers are a little annoying, so it's good to have them on our side. Greek onager charging forward, just the crew. So I'm fast forwarding again, not much going on. These Romans are going to come up over here, which we have to be careful of because they can fire up and in this area. Romans are moving forward now. So some triarii to support the Egyptians. 3 units of the auxiliary Syrian archers over here. Just a lot of choke points here in this battle, and having those spears and pikes definitely helped, as well as the support from the archers. Definitely just a lot of death though, especially on this side up here. Spartan pikemen coming down, definitely going to help against their pikes, counter their pikes. My Cretan archers fully healthy. I've moved back again away from my general. And they're going to move over here and try to get some shots off on those Syrian archers. Over here, my pikes are moving in closer to the flank of the Egyptians. My Ronin slingers, with the help of the hoplites, taking this gatehouse, which it seems like it should be ours very soon. There we go. So we've captured the gate. We've also captured the tower over there. So now that they're ours, we can push on. The unit of triarii coming right for us. Very heavy spear infantry. Now it looks like the Spartan army that is left, which is very healthy, is going to sally out and take on what's left of the Egyptians. So the battle is starting to finish off here in these last 7 minutes. Fast forward again. So just the onager crew here. That's going to get killed off pretty quickly. My archers are about to open fire. I don't know why he keeps doing that, but I don't know. But I guess that doesn't really work in a replay to press insert on the unit. Auxiliary Syrian archers taking some fire here, but not doing good damage, but not enough to break them. I mean, and these Syrian archers aren't really posing much of a threat anyway. Though they're in a good position, they're not really necessarily in range, it doesn't seem like, to fire on our troops. The pike setting up here on the side, with the spears covering this flank over here. Here's where the Soviet cultists have their, probably the biggest part, which is pretty much just getting chewed up by the pikes. I wish they I wish they could have done a little bit more in this battle, but just due to limited help, there wasn't too much. They're doing some damage though here, fighting against these Spartans. Fight between a pikeman and a cultist here. Just launch it. So the pikemen having a fight here. The Egyptian thorax pikemen and the Spartans. More Spartans over here, and pikemen moving in. Being hit in the side here by the other pikes. Archer support also coming in, doing a lot of damage. Oh my god. This is priceless. Oh, he died. Okay. Poor man. These Spartans are doing some stuff here. Pushing back the Egyptians. Looks like they're gonna fall back again after being crushed there. Losing a lot of morale. That unit only lost about 20 men, but it's falling back anyway. Over here we just killed one unit of that tree REI with my pikes. Now we're going to push up. Mercenary birding slingers, very fashionable with their hats. Moving up. So now the balance of power shot a lot towards our side. So excited. My archers now moving up. Still having some ammo. I'm pretty sure. Spartan pikemen are moving up here. So they're pretty much defeated. Only a couple of minutes left. Fast forward it. This unit of tree REI here. About to get attacked. And Cav, the general. Tree REI about to throw some of their spears, maybe. Doesn't look like it. The pikes moving up now to deal with these troops. Or they're just gonna walk around them. But never mind. Floppy hat troops here. Getting into combat. They have 60 out of the original 90. So they've taken quite a lot of casualties. These pikes are going to support. Those are really powerful arrows, taking out a couple of troops with just one hit. Looks like they're steady. Their army has taken quite a lot of losses, so their morale's down a little bit. My Rhodian slingers are still in combat against the tree REI. They've only lost about, well, they've lost one guy. Up here, still more Spartans ready to go into combat. My archers shooting some shots off into the troops here. Royal Spartans coming in, putting up a last desperate defense, which won't do much, as we outnumber them by a lot. I mean, we could probably just walk around them, but too lazy for that. The Royal Spartans putting up a pretty good fight with the tree REI, but they are running out of morale here. They're going to break very soon. 30 seconds left in the battle. The general charging in, but there's not much they can do. It's in the yellow. Looks like they're about to retreat. So that is the battle. Very interesting, though we did win by quite a lot. It was still pretty close. And it was pretty fun to play. We'll check the stats here. So the Spartans, right off the bat, losing a lot of troops, almost lost their entire army. About 103 away from losing all of them, or about 100. The Romans, so losing a lot and not getting necessarily a lot of kills, which when you're an attacker, that's usually how it'll go, but they did not win, unfortunately. My friend again, Burning Sparrow, gave me some of that information about the units, with his cultists getting only 15, 10, and 0 kills, and losing almost their entire unit. So not much they could do either without much support. The Roman person on our side having quite some kills with his units, not a ton. My troops sustained quite a lot of losses and deployed the same amount as my friend, but didn't get a ton of kills except with my my slingers. This unit didn't get a lot. But anyway, it was a pretty good match. And thanks for watching. Leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.